on, yo? What's happening? We still got a little snow out here. Let me see. See if it's still, still snowing. Look at that. All that snow came back. Well, it's not as thick. Well, it's not falling thick. You see, but it's accumulating. It's accumulating. Oh boy. Oh man, listen. I heard this. I heard these people on these podcasts, and I'm hearing it often on certain social media sites. I'm trying to figure out what this narcissist thing is. Listen. The reason why I'm saying this is because I know, like people like me went through a whole lot of shit in this country through the minds of other people. You see. And when I hear people describe narcissism to people that look like themselves, or from people that look like themselves, I often wonder, like, who taught you that? I mean, for real, like, it's like, who taught you that word, and who taught you how to deliver it, you see, inside of your house? You see, who taught you how to deliver the word narcissism inside of your house? You see, are you so ingrained with the minds of those who control you, or how do you use your mind in this day and time? Listen, I'm learning, man. I'm learning how the people move and how they talk. I've been away for a long time, man. You see, people get offended when I say that, man. You see, I've been away for a long time, you see. And it's like, I'm just trying to get back to the living in my, I'm saying old age because people believe that three hits from 60 is old. Yeah, I'll be 58 in August. But I'm just saying, listen, it just sometimes when people talk and they saying certain things, my reflection, I'm so connected to those that came before me, you see, as energy. I'm so connected to that, you see, that I can't move in certain directions in certain words that I hear and supposed to get some type of emotion from it, or compel myself to talk about it, but pointing at somebody that looked like me. You see, I need to understand why that person is saying that. Haven't I went through something or some type of experience in my life to know why this person is saying that, or to know where he's getting it from? You see, because it's really not him. It just fits a little bit. You see, because he can see those that came before him that taught his ancestors. You see, you can see it. You can see these beings inside of the melanated beings. You see. And listen, when I'm talking like this, listen. Raise up your conscience a little bit, because this is not racism, or this is not. I'm not in that world. I don't even know what that shit is for real. You see, I just know about ignorance. You see, yeah, for real. I just know about ignorance and low-minded beings. You see, or the created beings. You see, listen. It just helped me to understand what I wish somebody would plainly, like, tell me about what, or share with me, you know, just talk about it, because I'm talking about it now, and I'm gonna upload this, and the algorithms is gonna connect me to these people, you see, who's talking about it, who's telling you what a narcissist is, and pointing their fingers at these beings, something, you know, because you do, I'm sure you do have them out here. They're still out here. They've been out here. You know what I'm saying? You vote for them every goddamn 4 years or 8 years. You vote for them to lead the way. You know what I'm saying? You vote for these beings. You see, even though they don't do a damn thing for you, you see, you still vote for them. You see, and the Lord have mercy, if they look like you, oh shit, they might get in office. These narcissistic people. or these people who have these particular minds. I call them narcs. You see, when I say narc, people be thinking I'm talking about some drug dealers, but you know, I'm talking about the four letters. You see, listen, I'm trying to understand what these things are. You know, because you have a lot of people that hear me talking and they really don't understand what I'm saying, and they'll create some things and then they'll talk about some things that I guess they thinking I'm doing or from the things that I'm saying, you see, but they don't know a lot of these things been 15 years ago, 20 years ago, some 30 years ago. You see, all these other type things, you see. They don't know that I just got back and shit, and I'm talking inside of my book, you see. But it's easy sometimes when the person is actually right next to you, and you knowing they're there, but you can't ask them, but you'll create these narratives about the being, from what you're hearing from the being. You see, not understanding where it come from, because this person will literally tell you where where it come from. That's what he do. He want to share things with the people. You know, he wants to share it with the people. You know, he's trying to get his verbalism together so he can, I guess, talk to some people, I guess, because everybody that's sort of similar to me, we too busy trying to get our mind back. You know what I'm saying? From the waters. You see, we trying to get it back. You see, you know, and it's hard. You see, it's hard when you are set free. You see, not from paperwork, not from the paperwork. You're set free from something that's innately inside of you. You saw the code and you rewrote the code and placed the original code back in that space. You see, back in that space. So when you hear him piercing in your ear, you knowing what these binaries are doing. You know what they are. So you hum to distort the frequencies that they're trying to place inside of you. It's not tetting this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I know what they're doing, you see. I know what they're doing, but oftentimes the waters, you see, will plug your ear when it gets kind of thick. It don't do everybody like that. It's from people that's above and people that's below. You see, they actually get these things, you see. But I'm not talking about the other people who was created by their earthly creators, you see, or who that was. I'm gonna say it like that. Just that was programmed, and they got these seals of approval, and they do the will of man at 110%. You see, and listen, I got much respect for them because they can, whatever type of joy and feeling that they have, they earn that shit from man. And I'm not putting none of these people down. You know, something probably came out of my mouth a little bit, but I can't put them down because they doing exactly what they programmed to do. You see, and and whatever joy they have, sometimes it makes me feel like, damn, they having joy, and I can feel their joy over here. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes when you don't participate in their world, you have those, some probably close to you, some probably distant from you, just hearing you through the airwaves or however it may be. They'll put you down. They'll put you down because you're not connected. You're not connected. And sometimes you think like, am I different than those that came before me with the same bloodline or out the same womb? Or how does this work? You know, how does this work? How could you be so in tune with the death talk of man? You see, and the spells and all these other type of things that you go out and deliver. You see? I'm just, you know, it's just, sometimes it's just amazing to me. It's not a big deal too much, but I just want people to when they explaining these things, I'm talking about people that look like me. When you're explaining the word narcissist, when you're explaining it, You know what I'm saying? Just kind of talk about those that came before you. And every time you achieve something, these beings, they come through and destroy it. You see, just like they did back in the past. That's why a lot of your creations and cities and things is up under the ground and shit, or up under the waters. You see, everything that you do, they destroy it. You see. So I'm trying to figure out how these people keep programming you with these words, and when the words get popular, you jump in. You see, you jump into that ring. You see, and not knowing that that's a program that they're giving you. You see, or that whatever actions that the narcissists have, you don't even have to. You don't even have to connect that to the original beings. Just look at where it came from. You see, look at where it came from. It came from those people that destroyed or tried to destroy the mind state of those that came before you. You see? And it's still like that because you're still calling yourself black. You see? That's a narcissistic word you can give somebody. Shit, you know what I'm saying? You know, I don't listen. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm still trying to listen. I'm almost finished with all these houses. It's the little things. I'm inside of these spells that the people are developing from, but they're using it against their own people. Just like some of these people who are born with certain abilities that look like us, what they're doing is not giving a fuck really about who you are and what you look like and whatever. They're inside of man's world doing man's will, and if they feel like you doing something different, they'll take, they'll do some crafts on you. And then it's like, damn, you gotta, in order to get to the other side, you gotta literally go through these motherfuckers. You gotta go through your own people, like a motherfucking bulldozer or a bison or something. You gotta push straight through them all. You see, you gotta push straight through them all. Listen, I'm not talking about those who pushed through them all and then became them. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of people who do that. They'll push through it all and push, box their ass all the way to where they felt like they are. And then the people, those who was created by man, they'll just sit right there and just live inside of that world. And then you hear them talking. You hear them talking, and they're against you now. They're against you because now they're looking down. Like, I made it. Look at you. That's how they be doing, man. Yeah, that's how they be doing. You see, when it's a certain way you act, or a certain way you're supposed to be, like how they say a man's supposed to be, or an adult is supposed to be, and what a child is supposed to be. All these type of things, but at the same time, they say God is looking for his children. Okay, listen, see, I don't understand how that works. You see, what God is looking for his children? You see, or is the Most High looking for his seeds? You see, I'm just trying to put these things together, because for some reason I feel like something is pulling me into an area of my life that's coming inside the life that's coming. I believe that something is pulling me somewhere where I'm going to be talking. I'm going to be talking, you see, but I'm learning I'm learning this fluency thing, man. You see, listen. I was right. I was already there in 2016. I was right there, and then in 17, these motherfucking people with these crabs and shit came and fucked me up. And I didn't even know that I was feeling them all along. And my cats was telling me about them and shit. And I was just ignoring it because I didn't know what it was. And when it's personal like that and you don't know what it is, you let the shit happen to you. So you can learn what it is. So you can say, okay, that feeling that I had was this. I don't have to go through something and then read a book from somebody else's experience and shit, and then try to, and then when it comes and shit, I'm like, you learn it from somebody else, but it's not sealed. You have to seal this yourself. You see, you got to die in it. You see, meaning sometimes you got to let things happen. You got to let things happen to see what it is. You see, if people talking about hell, but your heart don't feel like that, your heart is joyful when you seeing beautiful people, families, and people coming together, and you can feel their joy. You can feel these things, you see. But your world and everything is congested, and you for some reason, it's like you can't get there. Not that you can't get there, you see, it's that you have to fight. You have to fight your ass off in order to get there. You see, you have to fight your ass off because you wasn't programmed to learn like they learned. You was programmed to learn in a different way. You see, and so you had to find that different way all on your own. All on your own. You see, you had to find that different way of learning all on your own. You see. And that's the hard part right there, because it's like, damn, that should take years, because you're going to have to go up the ladder, down the ladder, up the ladder, down the ladder. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to go through these things, you see. But every time you go down and then go back up, you see, that's one hole. So it's like these are talents or something. You getting like paid for going up and down these ladders or the currents and stuff. You see. Because you're in line with these frequencies that's beyond the comprehension of man. You see, they knowing it, and they trying to duplicate it. You see, but it's not authentic. You see, it's not authentic. You see, but listen to what I'm saying. Authentic creations, basically what I'm saying. But anyway, that's all I was saying. I'm just trying to figure out what this narcissist things are, man. You see, because sometimes, man, you have people saying that I'm one, and I'm like, how could that be possible? Because the things that you're saying, I'm not even nowhere near it. I'm not around nobody, no people. And if they reflected it from the things that I'm saying, I'm an artist. I'm an artist. I'm a visionary. You see what I'm saying? I do a lot of things that I don't, a lot of things that I do and say, I put it in my art, and I make it theatrical, and that's just a part of me. I come from musical people. You see what I'm saying? Shit, I come from theatrical people. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of things is going to be like that when when I'm expressing myself. You see, or when you hear me get loud and it sounds like I'm yelling and I'm all that other type of shit. You see, if you see me like this, within a second I can just, yeah, I can laugh with you. Because these things have already been done. You see, already been done. When you're going through a lot of things in your life, you see, and you don't, and everybody is going to one side. You see, one side. And they build this thing around you from that one side, but you knowing your life, right? You knowing your life, and and you was in there, literally. You see, you was in there literally, you felt things, you discovered things, you learned from some things. You was in your life, you was developing like most people do, but there were distractions in every goddamn quarter of your development. You see, there was distractions and you didn't know what the fuck it was, how it was. That's how you learned how your father was to your mama, or how your mama was to your father. You went through these things, and then all of a sudden, so you can't blame nobody because all that shit gave you understanding, because your pops didn't really talk about his world. You see, your mom didn't talk about it. Was a secret, or it was only for those who they were close to. Yeah, you see, it was only for those who they were close to. You see, so I didn't know a lot of things. I didn't know. I had to learn these things on my motherfucking own. You see, I had to learn these things on my own. You see, and so I failed. I'm a failure inside of man's creation. You see, I'm a failure inside of man's creation. You see, but I have a mega body, you see, inside of the creation of the Most High. I'm not talking about what you're talking about in your text. And I keep saying these things. You see, listen, it's hard for me to talk about it because if you're talking about something grand, they're gonna direct you to a book. If it ain't coming out of there, it's not true. And you say to them, oh, well, don't you know, say, don't fight me. You know what I'm saying? Don't fight me. You know, be you. That's fine. But I must have said something that sounded like was written in your book or written in your text. Well, I apologize, because whatever it is that I'm saying, you know, I guess we kind of got something similar things going on. You see, you see what I'm saying? But I'm talking through my experience. You can't just tell me that I'm saying something fake because the Bible says something different. You see, I'm talking about what I went through, what I felt, the pain, how I learned from it, you see, and had to do it again because I didn't believe that it was happening to me. And then all of a sudden learn like, God damn, this shit is real, you know, and then you write that book, you write that sentence and shit or whatever it may be on that day inside of your book. You know what I'm saying? You write it inside of your book. You see? I'm not taking nobody away from what they understanding. You see, just like that word Jesus, people get so twisted on the word Jesus, and you know, I be wondering, why do you say these things about that word, and you people saying that the word don't have no power, and they saying the word Yahusha has power. You see, and I'm like, okay, but we don't know about the power with that particular word. We know about the power that literally happened. You see, with that word Jesus, it literally happened. You see, people embodied that name, gained power from that name, from what they said was written or what they wrote, however it may be. You see, however it may be, they wrote it to fit film. So if they wrote it to fit film and then put the garment on, it don't matter if it was righteousness or abomination. However it may be, they came in that name and they became an empire. You see, but the name was given to you. The whole body was given to you. You are the recipient and the heir to everything that they created. The Catholic Church, whatever they created, whatever they authorized, you see, you are the inheritors of that being that's called Jesus. You see, that's your reparations. And they telling you to put on its garment so you can live. But you don't want to put on the garment because you keep talking about some paperwork things and all these other type things that's written in the book. And it was the J didn't come into existence and this and Jesus is the devil and all this other type of stuff, you know, saying the same thing that the Jewish people said or the Sadducees said to Jesus in the Bible. You see, they called him the same thing, just like The narcissist called you. Or call our grandparents, and some of them still call you all these type of derogatory names. Well, they don't have to call you derogatory. They don't know names really again. You see, if they really want to get you, they'll pronounce the ER inside of the Naga. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, you know, just release these words, because, you know, all of you folks, listen, that's just like, remember how Maui came into existence and all the fire that happened and things? Have you ever heard something on your news channel that talk about the reflection of what happened in Maui and what's going on right there? You see, I put a time frame, these dates, these connected dates, and the word Maui right there so you can see it on my community channel on YouTube. You see, I put it on there so you can see how they're connected and see the reflection of what happened, you see, and how some of the celebrities help fund some of these things, you see, that happened over there, you see, in Mulan. I'm just talking, I don't know about all that stuff, you know, entertainment purposes only. But yes, listen. It's a reflection. It's all it is a reflection. You see, it's a reflection or karma, you know. I love you people. I'm just saying, you know, you see, I don't know nothing about all the other shit y'all be talking about. Y'all thinking y'all see it. You see, it don't make a difference in things. You see, you have to talk to me personally. You have to know me personally, know my humanity personally, feel my energy personally. You see, in a minute, yeah.